Long ago, nestled between emerald mountains and rolling fields of sunlight, there was a kingdom called Aurelia, known far and wide as the Golden Valley. Its prosperity was unmatched, golden wheat danced in the wind, rivers shimmered like liquid crystal, and orchards bore fruit in every season. The people lived in peace, their laughter echoing through the hills. At the heart of this kingdom stood King Edric, a wise and noble ruler with eyes like storm clouds, calm yet commanding. He ruled with justice, fairness, and a deep love for his only child, Princess Aveline. Princess Aveline was not only breathtakingly beautiful but also graceful in spirit. Her hair shimmered like sunlight on water, and her voice could calm the fiercest temper. Yet, her true beauty lay in her kindness. She often slipped out of the palace dressed as a commoner, visiting the markets, helping the poor, and comforting the sick. The people adored her. They called her the Princess of Light, for wherever she went, joy followed. She would say to them with a smile, "A crown is only as bright as the happiness of its people." King Edric watched his daughter grow with pride. He believed no harm would ever befall her until the day the skies turned gray. It began slowly first, the river that fed the valley turned dull and sluggish. Then the wheat refused to grow. The songs of birds grew faint. Within weeks, the once lively kingdom was wrapped in mist and sorrow. The royal seers and healers tried everything, prayers, charms, and spells, but nothing worked. Then came the dreadful truth. The curse was the work of Malcar, a sorcerer once exiled by the king for his cruelty. Malcar had once been a great mage, but his hunger for power had turned his heart dark. When Edric refused to share his throne, Malcar swore vengeance. It was said that he hid deep within the Mountains of Dusk, where even light dared not enter. King Edric gathered his knights, but none returned from the mountains. Despair hung heavy over the land. One night, as the kingdom slept under a pale moon, Princess Aveline went to her father's chambers. He was sitting by the fire, crown in hand, his once strong shoulders bent in sorrow. "Father," she said softly, "let me go. I will find the source of this curse." "No," the king thundered. "You are my heart, Aveline. I cannot lose you too." "You will not lose me," she said, kneeling before him. "But if I stay, we may lose everything else." After a long silence, King Edric placed a trembling hand on her shoulder. "Then take this," he whispered, giving her his sword. "It has guarded our family for generations. May it guard you now." Before dawn, she left the castle alone but unafraid. Her journey began in the forest of whispers, where trees spoke in hushed tones. Travelers said the forest drove men mad with voices of their past. But Aveline pressed on, lantern in hand, following the faint light of the stars. At the heart of the forest, she met a strange figure, an old woman cloaked in ivy, her eyes glowing softly. "Why do you walk alone, princess?" the woman asked. "To heal my father's kingdom," Aveline replied. "Then you must carry more than courage. You must carry compassion. For the curse was born from pain, not power." The old woman gave her a crystal vial filled with golden light. "When the moment comes, let mercy shine brighter than fear." Aveline thanked her and continued on her way. Days later, she reached the Mountains of Dusk, where fog curled like ghosts and the air smelled of iron. The climb was treacherous, sharp rocks cut her palms, and icy winds clawed at her cloak. Yet, she never turned back. At the summit stood a black tower, its windows glowing faintly red. Inside, she found Malcar tall, cloaked in shadow, his eyes like dying embers. "So," he said with a cruel smile, "the king sends his precious jewel to beg for mercy." "I come not to beg," Aveline said, standing tall, "but to understand why you have cursed us." Malcar's laughter echoed like thunder. "Why?" "Because your father took everything, his throne, his glory, his people's love, while I was cast away to rot in darkness." Aveline looked at him, not with hatred, but with pity. You curse what you cannot have, she said softly. But love is not a throne to be taken. It is a gift freely given even to those who believe they deserve none. Her words pierced his bitterness. For the first time in years, Malcar's hands trembled. You would forgive me, he whispered. Yes, she said, holding out the vial. Because forgiveness is stronger than any spell. When the light from the vial touched him, Malcar fell to his knees. The darkness in his eyes faded, replaced by tears. With a weary sigh, he lifted his staff and the curse shattered like glass. The mist rolled away. Rivers cleared, wheat rose from the earth, and sunlight poured over the land once more. Birds returned to the skies, singing louder than ever. The people rejoiced, chanting the princess's name. When Aveline returned to the palace, her father ran to her and embraced her tightly. You are no longer just my daughter, King Edric said. You are the savior of Aurelia. In honor of her courage, he built a great garden at the heart of the kingdom, filled with flowers from every season, called the Garden of Aveline. It became a place where all could find peace, rich or poor alike. As years passed, Aveline became queen. Her reign was one of peace, wisdom, and unity. The once cursed kingdom flourished beyond imagination. And every year, on the day the mist had lifted, she lit a lantern and placed it by the river, a symbol of forgiveness and light in dark times. Moral of the story. Even the darkest curse can be undone not by force or fear but by compassion, forgiveness, and the courage to see the good that still lives in broken hearts.